All right, welcome back to another tutorial for Play Action Football. This is a new tabletop football game from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. And in this video, we're going to talk about penalties. So we talked a little bit before about how to resolve a play, just a general regular play from scrimmage. So basically, you look on your let's just roll through it. So let's say Minnesota's on offense. So they have an outside run against a base defense. And we'll just say that the Broncos are running a 3-4. So that's a 0. And when we roll our 2d10s, we get a 16, which would be right here. But what if we rolled... what if instead we were running a medium pass against a base 3-4? That would be a -2 advantage to the defense. And then we rolled a 2. All right, so that's possible. We add these together. That's not an 11, it's a 2, a 1 + 1. That's your smallest number. We already have a -2 that we need to add to this roll. So 2 minus 2 is 0. And you can't go this way any farther, right? There's nowhere to go off the map, off the chart. So when that happens, we need to go to our special place chart. That triggers a penalty. And when we're looking on our special plays chart, we can see that a roll of less than 2, which we have a roll of 0, means that's going to be an offensive penalty. The way you can think about it is these plays are really good for the defense. These plays are really good for the offense. So if you go off that way, then that's really, really good for the defense. So it should be an offensive penalty when you go less than 2. And if you go this way, it should be a defensive penalty because that's good for the offense, right? So if you go greater than 20, it's a defensive penalty. If you go less than 2 on this roll and you go this way, then it's an offensive penalty. So here we have an offensive penalty on Minnesota. We're going to take 1d10. You can see our rolls here, and we're just going to roll to see what the penalty was. We have a 9. And 9 is a tripping call. So that's going to be -10 yards to the offense. I tend to play it as the whole play is dead. The only thing that you figure on the play is the -10 yards. So clock doesn't move. You would change the yardage on the field, but the clock doesn't move. It's a sort of a dead ball. And then you make the adjustment in the yardage, and now instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 20. And what that does is it will also trigger that now I have to use, instead of 1st and 10, I have to use a second column because it's 1st and 20. So it triggers that as well. As far as scorekeeping, you can use, if you're using the score sheet here, you would find the team, let's say Minnesota, well, they were the away team in this game. So you would go to their penalties and you would say -10 or 10. I just like to keep track of how many penalty yards each team was culpable for. So that's resolving penalties in play action football.